truth.
Welcome to Drop Me Off in Nashville with Scotty and friends.
Welcome to Drop Me Off in Nashville. Today I have to do something different because the emails are coming in like crazy. I have multiple friends and family that go to Nashville or want to go to Nashville or have never been to Nashville. Matter of fact, my family last week that was here, you remember I had Mark on the show. We were at the beach and there's this guy that's going up to some race somewhere, Indy somewhere, I don't know what it was, but him and his wife walked by the back of my Jeep and they saw a sticker on the back that says, "Drop me off in Nashville." And he said, "Can you help me? I'm going to Nashville. We drive in 5-hour increments. And when I get to Nashville, I need to know what to do." And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "So where do I find it?" I said, "You have Roku?" He goes, "Yes." I said, "I'm going to do a show, sir, just for you. And I will tell you everything what to do in Nashville because I get this question all the time. Like I said, I get emails all the time. So I'm going to take a short break, capture my thoughts, and to come back. And you and I are going to talk about what the hell is Nashville all about."
Glad you here though. There's these fellas running all over Nashville causing a ruckus. I think their names is Scott and his hooligan friends. They're kind of cute though.
Hey, welcome back to Drop Me Off in Nashville. Thanks for hanging in there. I want to do this in 2 parts, okay? Sir, I know I'm going to do this show specifically for you, but I'm going to do it for the artist portion as well, okay? Since it is called Drop Me Off in Nashville, and I am here to help the kids, you have to think of it as, I break it down in 5 different parts. 1, Broadway. 2, Music Row. 3, the Ryman. 4, Bluebird. And 5, Music Valley, which is my favorite. I'm going to save the best for last. Little biased because I was asked to buy a bar over there. I was asked to, and one of my dear friends runs a bar over there. Tanya Tucker's opening a bar over there. I think East End's going to be Music Row. I'm sorry, Music Valley is going to be incredible. But let's start with Broadway. Tourist side, go. Everything is down there. The Country Music Hall of Fame. There's every artist that you can possibly think of has a bar there. There's some original bars. I'm going to miss some out, but there's Legends Corner, The Stage, the famous Purple Bar, Tootsie's, where I got my start with management. Met a great guy, Scott Collier. He's just an incredible talent. John Stone came out of there, incredible talent. Kid Rocks has a bar there where both John and Scott perform weekly. Laney Wilson just opened up a bar there. Garth Brooks has Friends in Low Places there. There's gift shops down there. Like I said, the Country Music Hall of Fame is a block off. The Ryman Auditorium is a block off. It's party. But listen, everything starts like at 10 o'clock in the morning. And these artists on each floor go for 4-hour shifts. So 10 to 2, 2 to 6, 6 to 10, 10 to 2. And they literally play all day long. So in every single bar you go into, there's going to be somebody in there playing some type of music and trying to keep you in there and live their dreams. And on the artist side, you have to remember, Broadway to me, you guys think of it this way. It's a landing strip. You come into Nashville, you land the plane, you get off Broadway, you learn for 2 or 3 years how to hold people in the palm of your hand, okay? Remember, you're there to entertain them. When you're in your hometown and everybody knows you, it's easy. When you go to Nashville, they're complete strangers, and your competition is next door or on the floor above you or below you, and they're trying to get that same audience to come and see them. So you have to learn how to keep every different crowd that you come across in the palm of your hand. And 2 experts at that, Scott Collier, John Stone, by far. They play at Kid Rocks every week. Like I said, just look them up and figure out how they usually go back to back. It usually goes Scotty and then John plays after. Typically, that could change. But these 2 gentlemen can hold any audience anywhere around the world in the palm of their hands. And as an artist, that's what your goal is. So that plane lands, you get off on Broadway, you learn your craft, you learn how to hold an audience in the palm of your hand, you get off that Broadway, and then you go land again on Music Row, and we'll get into that in a second. But as a tourist, like I said, go down to Broadway. It's safe. There's a lot of people. The later in the night you go, obviously, the more nonsense that goes on. That's all normal stuff, right? So you just kind of watch out for that stuff. But people are really nice. There's doors. There's doormen. There's security all over the place. Here's something that's pretty cool. All the bands in there play for tips. So you either bring cash, which is probably the best thing to do, because you're not going to pay a cover charge to walk in on any of these bars, unless it's some kind of special ticketed events. Maybe Brooks and Dunn are going to perform down there. Maybe Luke Bryan's going to show up and they're doing a release party. Maybe they charge, maybe they don't. I don't know, but it's very, very rare. So when you walk into these bars, you're going to hear the best entertainers from around the world. And some of them are so seasoned that you look at them and you're like, how do you not have a record deal? And I'll tell you, some of you rich people out there, because I know you guys got money, some of these guys up there, if you find that they're really good, invest in them, but mean it. Sit them down and don't get drunk and make them promises, because you're just crushing someone's dream. But if you got some money and you don't know where to put it, invest in an artist. They would appreciate that, and you'll probably get it back tenfold, especially if they hit. And there's formulas now that we have that we know what we have to do and how we need to get there. And if you do invest in one of those people, call us, because we can help you in all those ways to make sure you don't waste your money or waste the artist's time. But as far as tourists are concerned, you guys, Nashville, I can't say enough. Honestly, it's changed my life in more ways than I can imagine. And I'm grateful for that city, and I think a lot of people can say that. Many people got their start there. I know Terry Clark was one of them, and there was a bunch of them out of Tootsie's that been on American Idol and everywhere else that play that make six figures. They're doing good for themselves. It's wonderful. It really is wonderful. So now that you're on Broadway, right behind Broadway, one block north, is the Mother Church of Music, the Ryman Auditorium. So in the alley of Tootsie's and the stage is the Ryman, okay? There's an alley back there. And in that alley, when you walk down it, there's on the Ryman side, there's two sets of stairs, and both of them have this cast iron gate across it. The first one, as you're coming from Fifth Avenue, that gate always stays locked. The next one is the artist's entrance, where they go in and out. And I'll tell you, just about any star that plays there comes in and out of that back gate. And the best thing you can do is wait for them to get off stage. Be polite. Be polite. If you want to get an autograph, if you want to get a picture, be polite. They're busy. They could have a sore throat. They could be hopping on a plane. All kinds of variables could come into place while an artist can't stop. And I know it's really super disappointing, and I appreciate that for sure. But realize that they may have somewhere they have to go to entertain other fans, so they can't wait. Most times, most artists will stop and say hi. Especially if it's Garth, he'll stand there till everybody is gone themselves. Loretta was very sweet about that. Lori Morgan's great about it. Vince Gill's great about it. There's a few that aren't, and I'm not going to call them out. But time and time again, they never stop. But that's usually where you're going to get your best luck to meet a celebrity, is the Ryman Auditorium between Tootsie's and the stage and the Ryman. It's you can't miss it. It's there's a security guard there. You can't go up those stairs, but they come out, and that literally goes right into the Ryman where the backstage is, and then the show. But the Ryman, as far as tourists is concerned, you can tour the Ryman during the day. The tours are absolutely phenomenal. They bring you backstage. They put you on the circle on the stage. They show you everything that you can imagine. It's beautiful. It's something that you really need to experience, and I highly recommend that. Remember, when an artist comes out, be nice. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, listen! Hey, don't go nowhere. We've got more coming at you.
That's right, y'all.
Looking for your all-access pass to the heart of Music City? Whether you're an artist, songwriter, or just a fan of real-deal country music, the Nashville Music Guide has you covered. Discover who's rising, who's playing, and what's really happening behind the scenes. From Broadway to the back roads, it's your go-to guide for the music that moves Nashville. Find it in print, online, and everywhere music lives. Nashville Music Guide, where legends and locals meet.
Hey, welcome back to Drop Me Off in Nashville. So we touched on a couple cool things, right? We talked on Broadway. When you get in there, bring cash. We talked about the Ryman, how you guys can meet people. And the next thing we're going to talk about is this amazing place. It's called the Bluebird Cafe. Garth Brooks got signed out of the Bluebird. Taylor Swift got signed out of the Bluebird. I shouldn't say got signed. They got discovered and then got signed out of those TSA. And probably many, many more. But those are the two big ones that everybody knows. Everybody knows Garth and Taylor. Those two people got signed. This place, we're going to put pictures up to show you. It's tiny. I'm saying 100 by 100 feet, maybe. Bunch of chairs crammed in there. Sit around. You're going to be elbow to elbow. But what's wonderful about the Bluebird is it's a craft. Some of the best writers in the entire world play there, start there, pitch their music there. Sometimes play some of the songs how they originally wrote them, and then compared to how the artist cut them. Sometimes they're two different things. And the Bluebird is very special. You can eat, you can drink, but you can't talk. Weird, right? Shh. You know why? It's because it's the craft. It's that music. It's somebody's heart and soul that they put into their song. And imagine how rude it would be if you're sitting there trying to talk over them. The whole room is quiet, but you keep talking. There's no other way to say it, but you'll be escorted out. And that's the best thing that needs to happen. Not because the Bluebird is rude, but it's because the Bluebird is smart. And they realize how incredibly important artists and songwriters are to Nashville, to the craft of music, and to what makes you feel good when you're riding around in your truck, hanging out at the house, just broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend. It's important that you realize how important it is to be quiet. And it's funny, my friend Mark George down in Newport Richey has opened up an establishment with the exact same thing. It's called Muckeyes, Muckeyes, and it's in Newport Richey. And it's a songwriting venue. And the food in there, when I say is high-end, not high-end expensive, high-end delicious. And the craft of music will be played in this establishment. And I'm so proud of him that he brought this to the Florida area, because I think it's going to be very important. And I think it's going to give NSI writers a place to come. All the different songwriters who have left Nashville or LA or New York or Chicago and made their way to Florida and want to just pick up a guitar and come be respected while they're playing, and people actually listen to them. There's going to be all kinds of different contests and writers' nights that we're going to do, pitch to publishers' nights. You guys will be pitching your songs to me, which would be really cool. There's a recording studio literally 50 feet next door by Mark Maynor. He owns that. It's a full-blown studio. You can walk right over here with your guitar, put your track down, boom, and it's done, and take a piece with you. You guys, if I say this is the perfect setup, it's the perfect setup. And I can't believe Nashville doesn't do something like this, because that's how brilliant the Mark and Mark did here in Newport Richey. Check it out. It's Muckeyes restaurant. It's in Newport Richey. It's on Lemon Street. I think they're going to get the name change. We'll see. But anyway, back to the Bluebird Cafe. We're talking about Nashville. You guys go in there. You guys get auditions. So some of your new writers who come to town, the artist portion of this is that you can audition to play there. And let me tell you, it might take you 50 times before they say yes. Don't get discouraged. That's normal. That happens to people. And then you might have the song that you get on right away and you think, man, this is easy. No, think of it as you wrote a damn good song. And they want you to play it for other people. That's what's really important. And then the next time you go in, you might go another 50 and you may not get in there at all. But you can't go, well, I was just here last week. That doesn't matter. There's so much talent in Nashville that you have to earn your place. And they are very, very good at that. And I know when we write a song, we think it's the best thing ever. It's because you accomplish something that's very, very hard to do. Writing music and resonating with the world is not an easy thing to do by any means. But as you work on your craft, you'll start to realize that it gets easier and easier. And I think that's what's important. So realize the Bluebird, it's off the beaten path. It's on 21st Avenue. It's down a little ways. There's a big old mall down there where I can tell you Faith Hale and a bunch of Keith Urban and a bunch of them go shopping at. So if you see these people, I saw Glenn Campbell there, rest in peace, sir, many times. Super good people. Be nice. If they're with their kids, be super nice. Be very respectful. Because remember, we all got babies, and the last thing they want to do is feel scared or uncomfortable. So let them have their space if they do that. One thing about Nashville and celebrities, since I keep bringing up celebrities, be nice. It's why they walk the streets. It's why they're in the grocery. I saw John Conley in the grocery store 100 times. And it's just a simple, hi, Scott, hi, John, and we go about our ways. If he stops and wants to visit, I'll do that. I've stopped him a couple times to say hello, talked about when Loretta Lynn died. But other than that, I try to leave people alone. I've had some horror stories from some people that approach people while they're eating dinner. Just kind of think it through. Let them finish their meal. Let them do their thing. Let them be them. Remember, they're human too. And I know, you guys, I know they signed up for this. I get it. They signed up for this. But at the same time, they're just eating. Let them finish eating. Let them do their thing. And then walk up to them. They'll be more than gracious because they're probably going to already know that you've been staring at them. And they realize the energy that you're sending. And if you wait till the end when they get up to leave or something, or they're outside of the restaurant, the chances of you getting more than just an autograph is pretty good because that's how they're built down there. They understand that. So we talked about three things. Bluebird, downtown Nashville. Remember the Bluebird, you got to get tickets. But if you love songwriting, order early because you're not going to get them the day of the show. I can promise you that. It's not going to happen. It sells out very quickly. And I think Ticketmaster sells them now. Please don't cringe. I know everybody's getting sued. Live Nation right now just got a huge lawsuit against them. And if I could say good and clap and without making my producers spike his needles all over the place, I'd probably be dancing right now in front of you guys. I'm so excited that Live Nation finally got told to knock it off because they're just raising these prices like crazy, and it's not fair to the average person who wants to go see a show. It's just not. Hey, we'll be right back after this.
Here we go.
Podcasters, it's time to level up your sound. Don't let your show get lost in the noise. You need exciting intros, powerful outros, and smooth transitions that keep your listeners hooked. That's where podcast production music comes in. From polished production elements to custom sound design, Mark Maynor is your audio production professional, delivering broadcast quality results every time. Call Mark at 727-609-7366 or visit podcastproductionmusic.com. That's podcastproductionmusic.com, and bring your podcast to life. Sound Pro, stand out. Podcast production music.
Drop me off in Nashville hotline. May I help you, please?
Yeah, let me talk to Scotty Hooger. I want him to make me a big Nashville star.
Just one moment, sir.
Scotty here. You got 20 seconds to impress me. Go.
Okay. I'm a big hick. I live out in the sticks. My wife says I gotta be.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to help you. Bye-bye.
I guess he doesn't like people with big necks.
Hey, welcome back to Drop Me Off in Nashville. Don't you just love these commercials and bumpers? They're the best thing. That's Mark Maynor at work. What a talent. You guys, look him up. If you're doing a podcast and you want to get something in your show, he could do this all digitally. He could do it online. Just call the guy, send him an email, and check him out. He's out of Newport Rich. He's extremely talented, been sought after by international talent. So if you're looking for somebody to help you with your podcast or take it to that next level, give him a shout, please. So we went to Broadway, we went to the Ryman, we went to the Bluebird. Plane's now going to land. in Music Row. It's a big dream. You guys, as tourists, let's get that out of the way first. Go to Music Row. It's about, so Broadway and Music Row almost connect. And they're literally 3 miles apart. I'm guessing 2 miles apart. It's not far. Go over a bridge and there's Music Row. And Music Row is like something I can't even explain. Yeah, there's a few big buildings, ASCAP, BMI, MCA, Sony. They're older buildings. And then there's a bunch of houses. House after house after house. And you think this is a residential neighborhood. Management companies, publishing companies, writing houses, NSAI, a record label could be in that house. And all of these doors are locked. You can't just walk in and say, "Hi, I'm Susie Mary from Texas, and I want to play you my song." It doesn't work that way. And let me tell you why. Hard pill to swallow. Imagine if you were that artist on that label. And all day long, all that they had to do is take care of all 10,000 people who come to Nashville who just walk in there and say, "Hi, I want a record deal." And then they're inundated with doing nothing but listening to their music. Now, what happens to you as the artist on that label? All these people who will never end coming in, they're become more important than what your career is. What they should be concentrating on is you, who they signed, your deal, what you're doing, your routing, your touring, what place are you on the radio, how they're going to get you higher on the radio, where we're lacking, where we're not lacking, where we're going to push, where we're not going to push, where we should probably send out a meet and greet. All of the different decisions that need to be made those days. What branding are we going to do? Who we're going to sponsor? Who we're not going to sponsor? And if they can't, that's just one artist of their 50. So imagine they have to work with you or those artists inside of that. They can't be worrying about what's going on coming in and out of those doors all day and what music that you want them to listen to. It doesn't work that way. You got to get a manager, that's somebody who can get you in the door, a lawyer, somebody can get you in the door, or a connection, somebody who can get you in the door. And then you send an email. And you ask, "My name is, I would like to be done." It doesn't need to be this long. Just a short paragraph that I would like to pitch you my stuff. Can I get your permission to do that? They don't respond. The answer is no. If they respond, they're actually accepting submissions at that time. Then you get to do that. Otherwise, you don't get to go in. That's it. You don't get to go in. And it kind of sucks. Been there, done that, seen it at work. What I will tell you, if you do get in, make sure you give them your very, very best. Because the last thing you want to do is when they finally say yes to you and you put in something that grandma says is great, but 20 people who aren't your friends say, "I'm not really sure," and you pitch that, you'll never get in again. Think about that. You worked all your life, you moved there, you want to live your dream. You finally get a door to open, and then you blew it. It's okay if they say no. That's okay. But no with, "This was a great song," is you're going to get another chance again. No with, "Don't even respond to your next email," means what you sent them sucked. Whether you like it or not, it sucked, and you wasted their time. I was a big person of this. I made damn sure, and I pissed family off. I've pissed friends off. I've been called every name you can possibly imagine. But I worked my ass off for Joe Galante and Scotty Hendricks and some of the best people, Mike Duncan in Nashville, to take my calls, to take a meeting, or let me submit music to them. I'd have to go through all the interns and all the people who are going to say no well before because they think they know better. I worked real hard to get to those guys. And then when I did, I protected it at every angle I could, because the last thing I wanted was him to come back to me and go, "Oh, that's Scott. We're done." The last set of stuff he sent me was so incredibly horrible. I'm just disgusted in all of it. I don't have time for this. I'm not going to waste my time anymore. He's now shunned. He's no longer welcome to pitch. So when you do get in, protect it. Don't give it to all your friends. Don't start passing emails around. You're not doing yourself any favor, because God forbid if that gets back to them, you're out too. Nashville is a build. They call it the 10-year town. Think about that. 10 years. It's a long time. But realize when you do get your chance to be in the music industry at that level, it's a gift. Because that radio is 24 hours a day, right? And there's only so many times and so many plays and so many records in that 24 hours between commercials and everything else that can be played in that 24-hour period. So that means there's only so many slots that your record could go into. So I always say this to an artist. Who are you going to knock off the charts? Morgan Wallen? Luke Combs? Beyonce? Rihanna? Usher? Who are you going to knock off with your song? How is your song going to be better than theirs? Because they're going to have to pull them people to put your song in there. Now, we know what happens. We see how music revolves all the time. That's the part of the game that you have to realize and what you're up against. That's why it's so important to make sure that your music is the best quality it can possibly be. It makes a lot of sense. We're going to be right back after this. Thanks.
Hey everybody, Willie here. I just ran into Scott and some friends over at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. So let's raise them up and have a drink. It's a holler and a swaller. Beer.
1, 2, 3, holler! Now 12.
Hey, welcome back to Drop Me Off in Nashville. I'm smiling ear to ear. You know why? We're going to talk about Music Valley. Remember, we talked about the Ryman, right? The Ryman is where the Grand Ole Opry goes on certain times. And then there's the Grand Ole Opry House, which goes on East End. It's on, I wrote this down, so apologize for me for looking down. It's exit 12, Briley Parkway and McGavick Pike. Exit 12, Briley Parkway and McGavick Pike. This place of Nashville, to me, is by far the best. For so many reasons. You don't have to pay to park. That's $35 in your pocket right out of the gate. It's 100% safe. It's well lit. All the hotels are top of the line, and they're $120 a night, not $450. The Grand Ole Opry House is right there with this awesome gift shop, and 100 yards away from it is one of the most beautiful malls called Opry Mills Mall in Nashville. It has an IMAX theater. It has all these. The theater in there and the movie theater in there is. It's next to nothing. And there's high-end restaurants inside of this mall. The stores are in there for every flavor you can imagine. And the food court isn't just this knockoff stuff. It's a little bit higher end. It's incredible. Everything is right there. Vern Gosling lives over there. The Dukes of Hazzard, it's called Cooters. Their store is there. Willie Nelson has a museum. They share the same building. It's Cooters, all the General Lee, the Daisy Duke's car, the cop cars, all that's there. All the celebrities from that show up there. Then there's Willie Nelson's, and you go in this little back room, and Willie has all of his stuff back there. Golf clubs, and you name it, it's back there. And and Willie talks about Tootsie's in the Ryman on this video that they play, which is super cool. The gift shop is phenomenal. It has the neatest stuff in there. And then right next door to that is the Nashville Palace. Now, this isn't the original Nashville Palace where Randy Travis got signed out of. The original Palace was on the end of the block, but they tore that down. And they put the Palace over here. The Nashville Palace has two areas. In the front room, there's people that play guitars. James Carruthers plays in there. He's going to be doing Alan Jackson's last show. James Carruthers is phenomenal. Look him up. If you get a chance to watch him play, please do. Because if Alan Jackson will put him on his last show at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, you know how incredibly talented James Carruthers is. He's amazing. He plays at the Nashville Palace. That's safe. That's free parking. There's footprints and handprints in cement right next door to the Palace that you can go. The artists sign their name in cement, put their hand and feet in there. That's right there. And then right behind it is this place called the Scoreboard. It's a Packers bar when football season's on. But then they also have this outside tent. that they have music in, and the food is in there. And the food is next to none, and everybody in there is extremely nice. And it's like in this parking lot where this whole music valley is. When I'm speaking of all this stuff, it's right next to each other. You could walk to each one of these things that I'm telling you about easily. The next to that is one of my favorite bars. It's called Music City Bar and Grill. There's a new hotel that's getting built behind the Music City Bar and Grill. If you like older country music, you like Keith Whitley's guitar player, he hangs out there. You like George Jones' steel guitar player, he plays there. You like Tracy Lawrence's lead guitar player, he plays there. You like Daryl Worley, he shows up there. You like Zach Top, he goes there. This Music City Bar and Grill is it's old school. No cover to get in. Tip to band just like it is down on Broadway. Free parking. But if you're looking for older country music, you want to hear a steel guitar and a great country song with great pickers, that's where you're going to go. You're going to get the downtown stuff on Broadway. But it's all the new shit on the radio, whether you like it or not. That's what they shoved down your throat. I don't even think there is a fiddle very much down there anymore or a steel guitar. I don't remember the last time I saw steel on Broadway. I have seen a few fiddle players when we were filming Drop Me Off in Nashville. One of the girls who works for Lori Morgan was playing down there. I don't know if she was filling in or what, but she was stupid talent. Anyway, Music Valley, like I said, everything. There's a bunch of restaurants there. Cracker Barrel is there. And then on the same little area, there's these two little bars that are connected that my friend Randy Rich owns. They're called the Troubadour and the VIP Lounge. This bar I was asked to buy into, and my wife and I decided not to do it. The bar business to me is scary. I did it in Minnesota for a long time before I moved to Nashville, and there's too much problems that can happen. But right next to their bar, Tanya Tucker's opening a bar, 2 or 3 stories high, which will be awesome as well. But this bar, this Music Valley, you guys, is special. It's you can shop, you can go to the movies, you can go to the Grand Ole Opry, you can hear real country music, you can see some of the best players in the world. You can go into Cooters, you can go into, like I said, the Dukes of Hazzard, Cooters, and then you can go into Willie Nelson's place, all within walking distance, and you can get a hotel that isn't $400 a night, which is pretty cool. Hey, we'll be right back after this.
They were legends, icons, voices that shaped the soul of country music. Johnny Cash.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Loretta Lynn.
Well, I was born a coal miner's daughter.
Now you can walk through the places they called home all in one day. Just outside of Nashville, explore Hideaway Farm, the private cabin retreat where Johnny Cash found peace, prayed, and played for friends. See his personal cars, memorabilia, and the home that held his heart. Then, just a scenic drive away, step into the story of Loretta Lynn at her historic ranch in Hurricane Mills. Tour her beautiful home, visit her museum, and stand in the footsteps of country royalty. 2 American legends, 2 unforgettable homes, 1 epic day trip just outside of Nashville. Book your tours now and experience country music history up close and personal. This is more than sightseeing, it's stepping into the soul of Nashville.
Hey, welcome back to Drop Me Off in Nashville. I wrote this, so I'm better when I'm just off the cuff. But I wanted to say this, and I'll let you even see that. I want to say this: the truth about coming to Nashville as an artist and as a tourist. As an artist, I'm gonna hit some heartstrings, but as a tourist, you're gonna have a blast. It's not all country music. There's all kinds of different kinds of bars. There's any kind of music flavor that you could ever imagine, and the experience there is amazing. Visiting grave sites, and there's all kinds of different tours. You go out to Loretta Lynn's house and tour that. You could go to Johnny Cash's cabin and tour that. You could see where the presidents live. You go to Andrew Jackson's home. A short drive down to Chattanooga. You can go up in the mountains. Pigeon Forge out in Knoxville is breathtaking. Breathtaking. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen. There's so many things to do in Tennessee, and we also know Nashville's right next to Memphis, 3-hour ride away. You can go see Elvis's stuff, which is pretty cool. So as a tourist, awesome. Come to Nashville. There's so many things that you're going to do. There's so many memories you're going to make. It's not just country music. It's everything. But as an artist, don't tell me to screw off, because this is the truth. Everybody comes there chasing something. As an artist, you want to be a writer, you want to be an artist. Maybe you want to be in the management portion of it. Maybe you want to be an agent. Went to school for that. Most, not all, but most people leave with a reality check, some type of growth, or nothing. Let that sink in. When you go home, or when you decide that Nashville's bigger than you and your chances of making it isn't very good, don't look at it that way. When you leave Nashville, take this with you. I have 2 years of experience, or 5 years, however long you stayed there, in my back pocket. That would have took me 25 years to figure out in my hometown. You're going to go back to your hometown. You're going to be one of the best damn artists in your entire region. I didn't say your hometown. I didn't say your state. I said your region. You live in Minnesota, you'll be great. North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, Iowa, all of them. You'll be booked everywhere because of your talent level, what you experienced, how you can hold people in the palm of your hand, how important it is to show up on time and do an amazing job. And realize when you get to go back home, you get to take breaks every 10 minutes. In Nashville, you start playing, you play for 4 hours straight. So it's a big difference. So you're going to think it's a cakewalk to go back home and play, but you'll be sought after. So don't go home with your tail between your legs. Go home with an opportunity to make a hell of a lot of money. You'll probably be opening for all the different national acts that come through. Your agent, that whoever you sign, is going to make sure that that happens for you. Those are all gifts of Nashville when you go home. But it's a hard pill to swallow, because every artist has a little bit of an ego in them, right? We've been kind of slapped on the back. We've been kind of told how great we are. You need to go to Nashville. But it's business. It's 24 hours. There's only so many places on that radio that we can put you. And who are you going to knock off? And if Morgan Wallen's still popping out them tunes every 25 days, you ain't going to knock him off yet. He's not ready to be knocked off. You understand? It's tough. And it's a hard pill to swallow. But realize when you go home, you'll be the very, very best. You'll blow everybody away. Nashville, Tennessee. It's changed my life. I hope to God it changes yours. As a fan and as a tourist, when you go there, remember, bring cash. These guys pay their bills off. You guys coming in, there's no cover charge. Be nice to the celebrities when you see them. When you go to the Bluebird, or when you come down to Newport Richie to Muckeyes, shh. Let the art do what it's supposed to do. Sit there and listen and be respected to the music. And I'll tell you guys, I appreciate all the emails. Everybody's been so incredibly kind. And thanks for listening to Drop Me Off in Nashville. I'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining Scotty and Friends. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join the Drop Me Off in Nashville family. Engineering and production provided by Podcast Production Music.
Well, Nashville, can't thank you enough for all the time.
Y'all come back now. Here?